Hello and welcome everyone to Last Level Press. I'm Mr. Black, and this is my first 15 with AirBuccaneers, a multiplayer team-based airship combat game the likes of Guns of Icarus Online, recently released as a free-to-play title on Steam and recommended by a number of you for me to check into. And as I understand it, this game's got a rather storied history, originating as a mod for Unreal Tournament 2004, releasing as a standalone title from there, and as I mentioned before, recently getting released on Steam as a free-to-play game. And I've never played this game before, as with all of my first 15s, however I have checked into its menu options, and already I'm rather intrigued. It looks as though by way of the character progression of gear and perks and flaws, that there is some manner of permanent progression to this game, which Guns of Icarus doesn't really feature over much. I am going to try to keep comparisons to Guns of Icarus to a minimum in this game, however, as these are really the only games in the airship combat genre as it stands right now, I can only really avoid the comparison so much. Now note, however, that any shortcoming of this game may not necessarily necessitate a critical comparison to Guns of Icarus. As I remind you, this game is free-to-play, whereas Guns of Icarus is not. And while we're on this menu, can I just note, I really like the visual design of this perk and flaws system. It looks as though, obviously, perks are going to extend into the heavens, whereas the flaws shall extend down toward Niflheim. And I kind of like the fact that, due to the fact that this game is obviously very visually as well as mythologically inspired by Norse and Finnish mythology, its menus reflect the world tree design of those mythologies, and I rather like that. So let's have a look-see at exactly what we're working with. We've got 4 classes: Captain, Cannoneer, Defender, and Guerrilla. I think, gauging from this game's Steam screenshots, one can actually disembark one's own airship, board another, and wreck faces there, and I kinda like that. It's something that I wished Guns of Icarus allowed one to do. I really want to just beam people with wrenches, and I think this game may allow me to do so. So let's have a look at the character progression. Looks as though we've got independent bits of scaling armor, which I'm noting are not cosmetic. All of these seem, with the exception of this one, which I can play 1 round to receive, to require a set amount of XP to unlock, and no dollar amounts. I would really expect a game like this, especially free-to-play as it is, to kind of require a degree of microtransactions, especially where cosmetics are concerned, but it looks as though this does not, at least right now, so I'm actually quite pleased by that. I believe all of the perks as well, yes indeedy, also require only XP. The same with flaws. I have no idea what flaws are for. I'm assuming that, kind of like the tabletop version of flaws, they will allow one greater access to perks as a sort of give-and-take system. I'm not entirely sure. But it looks as though one can unlock a set number of them, given the UI down here. And the saga here, I'm assuming, is the narrative progression of this game, which, yes, there is to some degree. And this first chapter is quite a doozy. Your mother tells of a tale of your grandfather. Her grandfather, I stand corrected, who was as strong as a giant. With an enormous leap, he could land into an enemy airship and break a neck with his bare hands, as if snapping a branch in two. This, your mother says, is the meaning of your life. I approve. Thank you, Grandma. I would like to be a neck-snapping badass. Alright then. Now before we dive off into the Great Blue Yonder and go and bloody it up, let's have a quick look at the settings menu. I've actually not checked into this one, with the sole exception of affecting the audio options, which I am glad for the independent sliders for. Graphics, it looks as though we've got a number of resolution options. It's obviously automatically defaulted to 1080p. I can full screen or not. There is a quality preset slider, soft vegetation, I'm not sure what that means, number of pixel lights, shadow draw, shadow projection, shadow cascades, anti-aliasing, anisotropic, VSync, which I would really like to turn off. Although, I'm worried that if I mess with that in the midst of recording, it may interrupt the recording, so I'll deal for now. Post-processing and water reflection. Controls look as though they can indeed be remapped. Always good. I would normally familiarize myself with them, but I would like to keep things rolling along, so we'll just figure that out. I'm assuming account is a vestige of when this game was an independent release, and that it should automatically sync with my Steam account now that I've accessed it via Steam. So, let's see here. Can I change team to have a look at the Buccaneers? Because I'm a Viking at present. Oh, good God. Apparently, I can be Gollum. That's nice. could your arms be any twiggier? Cool tattoos, though. I approve of those. Let's see. Oh, your mother tells a tale of her grandmother, who was as agile as an air mine. She could silently creep behind an enemy and cut their throat with one delicate move of the knife. This, your mother says, is the meaning of your life. Alright, apparently they get unique little stories. I kind of like that. Although I shall keep to the Vikings for now. So, find game. Oh dear God, do please tell me there are more than this many servers at any one time. Because right now, it looks as though I'm the only person playing this game. 3 servers, 0 players each. Instant game? Could you match me to something? Apparently you can, okay. Kyria is the ancient home of the giants. A gigantic air vortex is of their making, as well as other signs of their inhabitants being visible here and there in Kyria. Very weird grammatical structure to that sentence, but I'll take it. And I'm really hoping I'm not about to load into a match with no one in it. I would really rather not. Oh, press fire to start. I didn't realize that. Oh, this is the tutorial. Is it? I could have sworn I saw the word tutorial. There we go, yes. Press F1 to start tutorial. Are there other people here? I think so, yes. Are those other people? I can't tell. One of them has a score, 2 of them have scores. Yeah. Let's tap F1 and start the tutorial. Use kamikaze ship and steer into enemy ship. Oh dear God, is that what this is? Dated graphics aside, this thing looks absolutely horrifying. Use left mouse in a ship's bow to fix when a ship is damaged. I don't know what that means. That is a giant vortex. Good God. Okay, apparently I can do a barrel roll. So, how do I control this thing? Okay, left and right are allowing me to bank, but how do I turn? Okay. Do I steer with mouse? Apparently I kind of do. What just happened? That voiceover, though! Okay, oh, I can press left control to drop from the glider. I think I should have, like, let go right as I was about to reach the deck. That way I could land on their deck, wreck face, and not die. Let's try that one more time. Oh, I've also got different items. Let's see here. Left mouse button is ship's bow to fix when ship is damaged. I don't understand half of these tutorial things. I'm kind of wondering whether or not English was the native language of whoever wrote it. So, let's see. I've got 25 grenades, 25 air mines, a telescope. Can I mark things? Like Guns of Icarus? I think so. Good God, these voice actors. Alright. The telescope controls weirdly. I can click to deploy it, but if I just tap left mouse, it just does this. If I hold left mouse, it continues to zoom. That's weird. I don't like it. How about blocker? What are these? Oh! I've apparently got a hand cannon. And it fires archaic flak. Alright, I'll take it. Wait a minute, hold on. Never mind. I was worried for a second that it was another hold it and then it will explode thing. How about number 6? Number 6 is my sword! Really, that's pretty low priority. Apparently I'm airborne now. I don't even have to press anything. I've just got to kind of walk in that direction. And yes, apparently I can actually control my flight path with the mouse rather than with the keys. Looks as though that's just to kind of angle oneself to, I guess, dodge things? Okay, let's see here. I kind of miss the really cool music from the control. Yeah, there we go. From the opening menu. Steer ship. I do believe I've appropriated their airship, which looks horrifyingly archaic. I kind of like how this is almost like an ancient world version of what would otherwise often be a steampunk-styled setting with airships and ship-to-ship combat. I kind of appreciate the, not quite clash, but just unexpected mix of aesthetic genres. Let's see here. Winds are stronger, higher. Top wind brings ship down fast. Choose boost with mouse wheel. Activate with space. Yeah. Oh, I see. Boost is over there to the right. So let's dive? Yeah. What's doing that? I hear a thing. Oh, good God! I've got like orcish rockets. Can I do that again? Oh, the boost is charging. I see. All right. The game's got a fairly stout learning curve, it seems. And I think... What was that? I heard a cannon. Oh God, it's that guy. Oh God, no, no. Can I man the cannon? Can I get off the helm and turn cannon? Turn cannon. There we go. I don't know what's happening. I'm kind of confused by this game. I like what's here, but I can barely understand what's going on right now. All right, fire. I don't have range on you. Damn. All right then. Can I man the helm? And double check that, yes, there are at least 3 other players in this lobby. I think one of them is firing on me. One of our ships was dropped with a cannonball. Alright, upward blast. Boost. Little rockets. Good God. I really am reminded of... Okay! The orcs of Warhammer 40k. That's what I was gonna say. Oh. Oh no. I'm kind of falling in slow motion, which I suppose is actually rather accurate, considering not all of the air would escape the air ballasts at once. Okay. Ship wheel stays in current... The tutorial is not all that helpful, I'm sorry to say. Do I really have to just, like, launch myself onto the platform of each of these airships every time? No, apparently there are proper docks. I could have just walked, rather than daredeviling my way onto things. Alright. Upward blast. And it looks as though there are little voice command hotkeys down there at the bottom, which would facilitate teamwork-based gameplay even for groups not necessarily communicating with each other over voice chat, which I tend to recommend for such heavily teamwork-focused games like this, the likes of Guns of Icarus Online. But having some clear-cut messages like that one can simply click at a quick little notice is quite helpful toward rectifying that shortcoming of communication. Now then, I've got what looks to be a single cannon platform, but no one to shoot at. I'm not entirely sure how to identify enemies yet. One of you, hostile? I really can't tell. Apparently we've got 3 allies, including myself, 2 enemies, and I don't know who's who. And that thing is just bloody terrifying. It's cool. Really cool. I question why in the hell we chose this of all places to conduct our warfare. Alright, I can light the fuse with that. Do I really have to just... Okay. Do I aim that thing by positioning the entire airship? Because that's kind of brutally difficult. I am not sure of the feasibility of that on the fly. Although I suppose it would require multiple people working in tandem in order to pull off, with a gunner telling a pilot, I need you to move in such and such direction. And this little thing is really maneuverable. Like, the other one was kind of sluggish in its responsiveness, but I can sway this back and forth at a relative moment's notice as compared to the other. Alright, let's see. What are we playing to? It seems like this game is kind of a plodding pace, so I may need to exit the game before it really finishes in order to wrap on a timely basis, or just cut out a fair amount of this match for the sake of keeping the episode to a reasonable duration. Now, can I like, aim this thing? It's on a swivel. Like, it looks as though I should be able to turn it left, right, and up and down, because it's on the little mount, but I don't know how. Do I click left mouse? See, once I'm here, if I use my mouse... Oh! I see. I use WAS and D to angle the cannon, not the mouse. Okay, I see. Oh, no. Oh, God, no! 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 I'm in the current of the tornado! I didn't realize! Oh, no, I don't know if I can escape. There we go. There we go. Ride the air out. Ride the air out. It's not working. How do I... forward! Forward boost! Rockets! Save me! Save me, rockets! Okay. I dare say I ought to be safe. I don't think any of them are. Which means they're distracted. So let's use an upward blast momentarily. There we go. Get ourselves angled. Oh no, I can already tell I'm getting drawn back in. Okay. Now, as far as critique of the visual quality of the game goes, obviously it looks rather dated, and it really does actually remind me of a first-person view of less Unreal Tournament, more old Warcraft games. Although, I do like the art style, dated though it looks. What is going on? Why am I in a cage? Defeat. Is this just the defeat screen, or am I about to have to beat someone to death? Do I have to fight to the death now? Did my enemies throw me in a cage to go and fight with the rest of mine allies for their entertainment? Because that would actually be kind of brutally entertaining. Not gonna lie. Oh, next game in 21 seconds. Okay, well, I'm not going to participate in that game. Where's the disconnect? Yes, disconnect. Thank you. And... oh great, apparently this is just a log of my matches. Okay then. I've now got at least a little bit of experience, so let's see how fast the game's progression really rolls. Looks as though I've got 6 experiences of pilot, 4 as a cannoneer, 1 as a defender, and no guerrilla. So I can't really gauge whether or not... oh, it's 11 of 50 for level 1. Okay, I see. I can't really gauge whether or not that match was at all reasonable as a benchmark for progression, because I really don't feel like I accomplished a whole lot, and with so few people in game, I don't really think I had an not really advisory, what's the word? Like a proper chance to really get my teeth, my blade fully sunk into the flesh of the target of really ascertaining the nature of this game. So all I can really say is I really dearly hope that its community is only asleep right now, and that maybe it's popular in a region of the world that is currently asleep, as I'm up in the middle of the night as I usually am. Maybe this game enjoys a greater player base during the middle of the day. I can only hope so, as I do kind of like the framework at place here, but I can only do so much with it without other people to play with. So I can recommend this game to anyone who really enjoys team-based airship combat already, and I really like the fact that one can disembark from one's own airship and go and combat others. Again, that's a feature I really, really wished Guns of Icarus had, and it doesn't. So the fact that one can be a little bit more engaged with the enemy insofar as even non-gunners can affect the enemy in a very, very brutal and upfront and personal way, even though I didn't get a chance to do so this round. It just appeals to me, it really does. But, again, I can only do so much with that without anyone else to play with, so maybe the find game option is a limited representation of the player base available, because obviously players are in-game right now. However, whatever match they're in, they don't show up right now, because I was just playing with 3 other people at least, and they're not showing up here, so I'm not sure what discrepancy is at work between the find game versus instant game match mechanic, and I can't comment at all, really, regarding any matchmaking that may be in place for instant game, which I would kind of hope for in a rather refined sense when it comes to games featuring permanent progression. Because once one unlocks a great deal of perks and flaws and gear, I would assume, one is going to then possess a hard and fast advantage over new players who do not have those things. So games that do feature permanent progression, while good at incentivizing long-term play, really need a good matchmaker in order to keep the game from feeling like the old guard are just decimating any new players. And right now, I can't comment one way or another on that. And I remind you guys, this is a first 15 and not a comprehensive review, and as such, it's really just a gauge of how well a game hooks me. And this one kind of does. I really wish it had a greater player base, because I want to continue playing this, I want to get a better feel for it, but I just don't think I've got the capability of doing so right now. So I may come back to this game a little later. If any of you guys know of its peak times, do please let me know in the comments below so that I can check it out when it's really at its best. And until then, I'm Mr. Black here at Last Level Press. This has been Air Buccaneers, again free to play on Steam. And as always, I wish you all good gaming and Godspeed. Yuri, no, you're not of the Gagarin variety. No! No! You're not the Gagarin varieties. You can do this, Yuri. I believe in you. I have all the faith in all of the worlds in you!